going on, beautiful people, and welcome back to Piece of Happiness 101. And today we have another phenomenal video for you guys. After being in a relationship for like 3, 5, 15, 20 years, it's definitely expected for the two of you to get comfortable. The one enemy that might probably come across is that sometimes the relationship tends to get boring. Two people are not exploring the different avenues that the relationship might offer. And the only problem about getting bored in a relationship is that sometimes that can actually cost you your entire relationship. So in today's video, we're going to talk about some of the ways to spice things up in your relationship. And before I start this video, I'd like for each and every one of you watching to keep that one thing in mind. In order for you to apply anything that's going to be said in this video, you need to know your partner's love language. Yes, you guys need to know each other's love language. It's important to know your partner's love language because you don't want to think that you are actually spicing things up while the mood is not already set up. And by knowing your partner's love language, it's definitely going to help you do things the right way. With that being said, let's go ahead and start this video. The first way to spice things up in your relationship is by trying new things. It has come to my knowledge that there are couples out there that find it comfortable with scheduling sex. I don't know who told you that that idea would definitely work with the relationship. And I know people have lives, I know people are busy, but by you feeling comfortable to schedule sex, your relationship is at a boring stage. Yes, and you need to change that. And why do you need to change it? It's because by you feeling comfortable with scheduling sex, that means that there is a lack of connection. There is a lack of emotional connection. As a matter of fact, by you scheduling sex, it also means that you see sex as work. Anytime sex become work, it's no longer sex. It's no longer making love. It's definitely an exercise. And we don't want to be doing exercises within the path of love. If you say that you love the person, it is definitely needed that you guys have that talk. Have that talk from the time that you guys started dating. The spice, how things used to be spontaneous. Each partner that you meet have different fantasies. It's good to talk about your fantasies. The things that you probably wouldn't feel comfortable to tell anybody, it would be beneficial to talk about those things with your partner. Let them know exactly how you want to get things done in the bedroom. Talking about the bedroom, there's no way for somebody to tell me they feel comfortable with handling business only in the bedroom. You have an entire house. Spice things up. Change the idea. Think out of the box. Don't automatically expect things to happen one way, and if it doesn't happen that way, it's not going to happen. No, you have the balcony, you have the couch. Just tell your friends that anywhere around the house that they're sitting, something have happened. And trust me, I know that some people might not feel comfortable about it, but at the same time, do you really want to lose your relationship? No. So it's time to spice things up. And by spicing things up, it doesn't only have to happen in the bedroom. When was the last time you went to a new restaurant? As a matter of fact, when was the last time you had a vacation? When was the last time you decided to grab your spouse and went on a spa day with them? Never, right? You need to start doing new things. When you guys started dating, things weren't like that. When you guys started dating, you were teasing each other every day. Those little texts, you remember? Hey, how you doing? I like what you did last night. All that good things that used to put you guys in the passionate level. Where did that go? You need to keep talking about those things. The same way that you ask your partner about what they wanted for Christmas, you need to ask them what exactly they're expecting from that relationship. And if you could do that as often as you can, I definitely think you should. Always have that talk with your partner. Ask them exactly what would put them in the Mount Everest position whenever they think about that relationship. And yes, we have job, we have a lot of things going on in our lives, and sometimes we're not always going to be happy or ready for the spontaneous things. But in the meantime, always think about ways to spice things up in your relationship. Go to Jamaica, go to Paris, do things that are a little bit risky. And by risky, I don't mean going to jail. Doing things that sometimes would even make you surprised that you've done it. Because in reality, getting comfortable is the wrong thing that any relationship can deal with. And by being too comfortable, that's going to put the two of you in a very boring position. And by being boring, you are at a higher percentage for somebody to cheat. And you don't want that, do you? Because regardless of how we put it, the minute there's a constant void in a relationship, somebody gonna try to find something to make them feel better. Somebody gonna try to go out there to see if they could feel like the way they used to feel with you. Do things to amplify the possibilities in your relationship. And by doing those things, that's not only gonna spice up the relationship, that's also gonna bring new memories. And that's how the relationship keeps surviving. Because with everything going on around our world, if we're just gonna let the relationship sit there and not work on it, at some point we're gonna end up losing ourselves in the relationship. If you are into foreplay, talk about it. If you are into anything that you think might probably spice up the relationship, let him know. Let her know exactly what you're all about. Explain exactly what your sex drive is all about. Because the best thing is to find that void and fix it as soon as possible. Another way that you can definitely spice things up is by taking care of yourself. Yes, taking care of yourselves is basically one of the best things to help get that path straight. Why am I saying taking care of yourself? Oftentimes people would get in a relationship and they automatically get comfortable with themselves, comfortable with the partner, comfortable inside of the relationship. By you taking care of yourself, you're going to be more aware of what's going on around you. And I understand, like I mentioned, work is involved, life is involved, but the main thing you have to pay attention to is your relationship. Because despite how many hours you work, if you don't take care of your relationship, there won't be a home to come to after you're done working all those hours. So you definitely need to put that relationship first. And by putting your relationship in a level where you're taking care of relationship or you're taking care of yourself, that's also going to give you a better view on how things needs to be done with you and your relationship. You will automatically feel the changes. And by taking care of yourselves, I mean taking care of your mental. Sometimes people will get in a certain stage of life where they wouldn't feel comfortable with themselves anymore. Sometimes they feel like they've gained weight. Sometimes they feel like they are not as beautiful as they used to. And by you keeping all that to yourself, that's definitely going to affect you mentally, emotionally, and physically. And that's also going to affect your partner, which in turn going to affect the relationship. So yeah, taking care of yourselves. If you are into yoga, keep doing yoga. If you like going to the gym, and by going to the gym, I don't mean that everybody needs to have six packs. Taking care of yourself to the point where you always give your partner something to look at. You know what I mean? Something to look forward to. And I know sometimes it's easier said than done, but the reality is simple. You are fighting to spice things up in your relationship. If you really love that person, and if you think that person really loves you, it's only fair to keep things together so the person is always looking forward to come to you. Regardless of how it is, your partner might probably not feel comfortable telling you about the changes that they need to see coming from you, but the reality is simple. Anytime the person gets to see the same thing over and over, they won't expect more than just what you're giving them. But by you making more changes, by you introducing new things to the relationship, they'll definitely be amazed and always be happy to be around you. Like you've probably heard it, men are very visual. And if you have a guy around you, the first thing that you're gonna need to understand is gonna check you out regardless of you paying attention to it or not. And by you doing them squats, it's definitely gonna be worth it. By you taking care of yourself, it's definitely gonna be worth it. By you always dressing nice, getting your hair done, getting your nails done, looking beautiful, smelling good, all those things, despite the fact that we might not pay attention to them, all those things play a significant role inside of a relationship. And as comfortable a lot of people might get, sometimes they're going to question themselves that I give the person everything, but they still went out and cheat. The problem with it is that sometimes the person might have a love language that you don't know anything about. Some people want gifts as a love language. Some people want quality time as a love language. Some people just want to lay in bed watching TV, do whatever as love language. Some people are not as materialistic as a lot of people think. If you want to spice things up in your relationship, you always need to be talking about exactly what you want to happen. Don't just let it go. Don't just think being comfortable and feeling each other, oh yeah, we've been together for X amount of years, we don't need to impress anybody anymore. Yes, you do. Yes, you still need to impress your partner. You might not go as crazy as you used to anymore, but you always need to bring something new to the table. Always do things that's going to surprise the person. Always do spontaneous things. Always talk about it. Take care of yourself, and you would be surprised how such minimal amount of work would definitely be beneficial to the relationship. On that note, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If I've missed something in the process, feel free to comment below. And for those of you who've been with us from the get-go, guys, I really appreciate every single one of you who've been doing things to support the channel. If you are new to the channel, feel free to look around. If you happen to see something that you like, do not forget to subscribe. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other.